Okay, we're live. All right. So I wanted to switch things up because, as you know, if you've been following me for a while, then you know that I just did some super scary things. I did my first live webinar, and then I didn't really give myself a chance to think about it. I just kind of barrel rolled into 3 more. So I did 4 live webinars lately. And I gotta tell you, I kind of fell in love with doing these videos. So that's what I'm gonna be doing today. So hi, I'm Krystal Proffitt. If you don't know who I am, I'm an author, podcaster, and motivational speaker. And today, specifically, we're gonna be talking about podcasting and doing it on your website, like how to add a podcast episode to your website. Now, I do teach a course called Rookie Podcasting. We just closed the doors. So if you're interested, you can always join our wait list. Just go to krystalproffitt.com to find out more information. But yeah, one thing I tell our students is that you don't have to have a website. You don't have to have a website to have a podcast. However, I do think it's really cool to have a way, like have a place to send people. You know, I think it's great if you can send them to your social media account or somewhere else, but I like to have a place that's disconnected from social media for you to connect with your listeners, ask them questions, like post any information or show notes about, you know, any of your guests that you have, and just ways to further the experience of a podcast. So today I'm actually going to walk you through, I was just going to upload my next week's podcast episode for the Rookie Life podcast. And I decided, why don't I just show you how I do it? So I'm going to switch the camera around and let you see my screen. So if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments, send me an email, and I'm just going to kind of go with it, and then we will see what happens from here. So let me share my screen. Okay, so you should see this is my login. So I currently use Bluehost. That's my hosting site for my website, and I use WordPress. So we're going to log in. This is, so if you've never used WordPress or Bluehost, like this is how everything works. And then my website is krystalproffitt.com. I'm going to log in. And I'm going to show you how I create a new post. So I'm going to go over here to post. And if you're not familiar with WordPress, I know I wasn't when I first started messing around with blogging. So if all this looks like a foreign language to you, then just bear with me, because we're just going to go to add a new post. So if you're a blogger or you're a podcaster, this is how you can add a new post. So for me, this is episode 33. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here. So I have a theme. So this is something you should know. Hang on. I feel like I need to switch and come back around. So let's talk about this real fast. So I have a theme within WordPress that allows me to drag and drop everything and create things that are different from other versions of WordPress, if that makes sense. So I signed up for Bluehost, then I connected my Bluehost and my WordPress account, but I also additionally purchased a theme for my website. So it's kind of like the pretty, like the outside, like how do you want your website to look? Do you want it to look like a blogging account, or do you want it to look like this musician has it? They give you all the tools that are pre-formatted, and then you can just include your pictures, your content, all of your information into the layout that they've already chosen. So if this looks any different than what you've previously seen, that's why, because this is just part of the theme that I have. So let me go back to sharing my screen. I just wanted to explain that real fast. Okay, so I am going to add a widget right here. If you don't know what a widget is, these are all the additional things that you can do outside of text or anything else that you can do on your website. And I'm going to do some custom HTML. Okay, this is where I'm going to stop, and I'm going to go to my hosting site for my podcast. This is buzzsprout.com. This is the episode that's going to be published next week. I already have it scheduled here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to embed this episode, and I'm going to embed this one and only episode. I copied that code right there, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to paste it. Okay. So I'm going to click done. I'm going to click save. And one other thing I want to do real fast is I always change the permalink over here. And I'm actually not going to do it there. I'm going to do it down here at the bottom. This is just some of the formatting things that I do before I upload an episode. I put in my picture. Let's see. These are all the pictures that I've shared on my website. And then I set my feature image, and then I come down here. And then all of this is my SEO information. And within here, I am going to change my slug to be episode 33. This is how I format everything whenever when I say, hey, you can go to krystalproffitt.com/episode 33, and that's where this episode is going to live. I also, in Rookie Podcasting, I encourage my students to write really awesome descriptions in their Buzzsprout profiles. And this is another reason why, because within your SEO, you can actually just take all of this and I copy it. This is the description that will show up in iTunes and all the places people listen to my podcast. I can plug that directly into my SEO. This orange line means it's too long. It's not going to show up in a Google search or anything like that. So what I do is I will delete right here. And then we'll say today's guest is joining us from Germany. Oops, I mean capitalize that up. So look, I have an SEO meta description that's going to make Google happy right there. My readability analysis is not going to be good. This is like all the SEO. Like we don't even have time for that, right? We're not going to get into that. But I am going to talk about overcoming trauma because that's what the episode is about. All this other SEO stuff is not going to be happy because it's not a blog post. It is a podcast. So I would come in here and add some text. And this is going to be the additional, I'm just going to type in contact information for the sake of this because I don't have her contact information ready to upload. But I'm going to save it. I'm going to click preview. And it's working. Sometimes it's really quick. Sometimes it's not so much. Okay, so here is my featured image. Here's my sidebar with all my stuff. And then there is my podcast episode right there with all the stuff. Oh, hang on. I got a pop up. What kind of rookie are you? But this is everything that you see within Buzzsprout. You see all that? Like all this, like y'all, this episode is so good. That's where it ends. Y'all, this episode is so good. So it's all right here. So I just wanted to go through like real fast, and I'm going to close out of this, and then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to schedule this. So I am going to go back and make changes because I do need to put in her contact information because that's what I like to share about our guests. But I'm going to schedule it for next Tuesday, which is when my podcast comes out. And I will just go ahead and click schedule. Yes, I'm ready to schedule. And then I'll come back over here and click view post and see what the final one looks like. And that's it. Everything looks good. It says turn on builder. This and like this information up here, that's part of, again, my theme and how everything works. Oh, there's that pop-up again. So, but yeah, I mean, that's basically it. And you can just play. I don't know if it's going to let me play. Is it going to let me play? Yeah. I don't know if y'all can hear that. My speakers they're not really connected, but I can just play my podcast episode right from there. So I hope that answered your questions. Maybe that left you with more questions about SEO and the different things that come along with having a website and blogging. I'll be really honest. I don't think that SEO matters as much for content like this, only because it's not heavily text. Like there's not a ton of text right there. You know, you have a blog post that has like 2,000 words. Like, yeah, that's going to be very critical to SEO. But for me, I'm just sending people here like, hey, you want to hear this one episode? And you know, you're not connected on iTunes, or you just want to find out more about Janine and like here's where to go. This is where I'm pointing people to let them know, hey, you can go here. So that's just a quick video, and I wanted to show you that that's how I do it. And I hope that you learned something. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will chat with y'all later. Bye.